posts you can see and videos you can see on social media that make you uncomfortable? Yes, I could be old generation maybe, but there are things that if something is supposed to be intimate, private, and to yourself, you need to keep it there. But when you start bringing such intimate things to the public, there's a big question mark. Something is questionable. Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's your girl Jennifer with another interesting conversation. Welcome to Against All Odds. If you're new here, welcome. And if you are an oldie, welcome once again and happy to see you here. So today's conversation, guys, is going to be an interesting one and maybe an eye-opener for many of us. So today I want us to talk about why people flaunt intimate things on social media. Have you seen how people want to paint the sky red for us about love on social media? You go to this page, they're there. You go to this page, they're there. Everywhere, like, you kind of get intoxicated with their love affairs. Yes, that is what I want to talk about. And as I get into this conversation, I'm not coming here and on this conversation, it's not about this genuine love that people put, like you put a post with you and your loved one, with you and your husband, with you and supposed boyfriend or girlfriend, and just like celebrating something, pregnancy, love, a day, marriage. Not that. That's not what I'm here for. I am here for these people who want us to believe they're in love, and they will force it down our throats that they're in love. And they will do everything to show us that they're in love. Those are the people I'm talking about. So don't come for me thinking like, hey, what's wrong with us sharing our love? And no, you're on the safe side. You're not the person I'm targeting. But even as I talk about it, you will get the clear difference of what I was talking about. Yeah, and as usual, I like to give illustrations and examples, real life examples. So there's this person I know, a very close person that I know. And this person, I want to give you a brief history, then now you can get the context of the whole picture. Because there are people I've known for a very long time, when they started dating, like, you didn't even need to be told they're dating. It was all over the socials that these two people are dating. Because the guy would post the lady. In Africa, we call them chick. So if I get to miss instead of saying lady, I say chick, just know I'm talking about the lady. It's an old thing. I'm old, you know. So this is how we used to call girls then. So, yeah. So the guy would post a lot of things on this girl. I want to also let you know this. The guy is hot. He's really, really handsome. And so is the lady. And so is the chick. She is, then and now, very hot. Whoa. There were two. And then they happened to be not tall, dark, and handsome. Tall, light-skinned, and handsome. And the chick is short, light-skinned, beautiful, pretty. Pretty. Those people who do not need to add anything to bring out their beauty, it's just there. So that's how they would put stuff on socials, especially the guy. So did this for some time, then voila, these guys are engaged to be married. They were pretty young, especially the girl. She was pretty young. But have you seen people who date and you can tell They're dating from the place of immaturity. Yes, that is how it was. So, the same socials, you get to know they're getting married. And from nowhere, this wedding is put up together very quickly. Grand wedding. I promise you, it was grand. In Africa, if you're a person who is known or your parents are known in some capacity like this, whoa, people will do anything to make that wedding shine. Sometimes it's not even you guys. People, they will be so involved in that wedding to make it pop. So it was a big wedding. They marry. After they marry, what happens? The guy is again all over in the socials posting how beautiful the girl is. And the one thing about how this guy would post the girl, it's like trying to showcase how beautiful she is, you know. And at some point, when I would see this on socials, I'd be like, but she's beautiful. You don't need to force it down our throats. She is beautiful. You are handsome. The girl never used to post the guy. That I noticed from the beginning. Like, it wasn't. And she's not a girl that is not outspoken. She's very outspoken. But she wasn't loud on the guys, on their relationship, and even their marriage when they got into marriage. When this was happening, I am not a young girl myself. So, yes, I think I was already married. Yes, I was already married. Having children, not sure. But, yeah. So, at some point, I kept on asking myself, I hope this guy is able to maintain this thing that he's trying to put out to us on social media, because you are just newly married. You have the time and the energy to post all this day in, day out, like even 2-3 times sometimes in a day. And I told myself, I hope this love, you'll be able to maintain it at this level and degree, because being in marriage, I know it takes work. I don't have the time to post my husband and children and everything I do on socials. Not because I don't want to, but sometimes where is that time? Sometimes if my priorities are right, even like I may be having a very special event, like her birthday and everything. It's very special. And you even end up forgetting to take photos. You even forget to take videos. So you who is so constant and able to do that. And sometimes you don't forget because you don't want to. But you're involved with your visitors, your guests and everything. And other things about life. Real life. That you can forget these things. But now this is a person who is everywhere. And these pictures are very centered for us to believe this thing is okay. And I kept telling myself, the unfortunate bit about such relationships is that when they come crumbling down, the way you put them on our throats, somehow if we don't wake up and find you online, that's when we know something is wrong. Either with the relationship or with yourself sometimes. You get. So, yeah. So, that continued. Then from nowhere, no more posts. I'm talking about my own experience where it's me seeing them because it's there on my wall and everything. So all of a sudden, I'm not seeing them. And because I've told you these people are close, then I have to make my inquiries and find out, is everything okay? Because at some point I know the guy was unwell. So I needed to find out, is everything okay? So reached out and I find out, everything is not okay. This relationship is in the rocks. And the first thing I'm like, what will the social media police do? Because you put it to them. They will be the same people coming to your inbox and finding out, hey, you guy, we've not seen you for a long time. How is this and this person doing? So that happened. They finally split. Unfortunately, by the time they're doing this, they have children, so children here are involved. But they part. The marriage didn't last long. I think the marriage lasted like 3 years, I think. Even 3 years could be a stretch. It could be shorter than that. So around that time. So they part ways. I'm not having anything against, they could have had genuine, valid reasons for parting ways. That's not what I'm there for. Remember? Flaunting things on social media. That's why I'm there here. So, part ways. The guy goes his way. The girl goes their separate ways. Now, everything goes quiet for a period of time. Then from nowhere, the girl is back on socials. Maybe after like a year and a half there, she's back on the socials. This time, the girl is back flaunting a new guy. A new guy. She has taste for men though. She has taste. So, yeah, the guy is handsome as well. But this time, it is the girl going all out to flaunt this guy. Now, as I do my comparison, because I can compare what I used to see the guy do and what I'm seeing now the girl do. At least when the guy was doing it then, it was just about them. There were no very intimate things like kissing in public, touching, some funny dressing that wants to suggest we're in a certain mood, or, you know. It was just trying to show she's so beautiful in photos, you know, there. But now when this girl comes back, she comes back with videos and photos that you're thinking like, whoa, wait a minute. Are you okay? Is everything okay with you? Because the photos come in, they're very explicit and intimate photos that I promise you, we shouldn't be seeing them on social media. You know, we shouldn't be seeing them on social media. So I started thinking, I'm a mental health professional. So I'm thinking like, is she okay mentally? Because that is the first thing that tells you that something is wrong. Because if you're putting out there things that we shouldn't be seeing in the open, in the public, something is quite wrong. I believe something should be wrong. Yeah, so she starts putting out posts out there. There's this post that now she started putting out where they have some of these skimpy clothes, and do you know there are posts you can see and videos you can see on social media that make you uncomfortable? Yes, I could be old generation maybe, but there are things that if something is supposed to be intimate, private, and to yourself, you need to keep it there. But when you start bringing such intimate things to the public, there's a big question mark. Something is questionable. Because, I'll give an example, for example. Me who is married, which sane man would want me to bring them and to put a post or a video out there with me and my husband on our matrimonial bed? Not unless my husband has something wrong with him or with myself. Why would he even allow me to take a video of ourselves? You know? There are things that are supposed to be very personal and private and remain there. Because if you're married, if you're dating, if you have a man, we know what goes on. We can suspect and guess what goes on behind closed doors. Don't bring them to our face, because people know such things happen. But now when you're bringing them to our face, what are you trying to say? So, for me, when I started seeing that, I started seeing something funny. And you have parted ways with your husband. I don't know whether at that time he's an ex-husband. I don't know whether you've even divorced or just separated. But now you're already flaunting another man. All of a sudden, you're even bringing the children who are very young into this mix. And then I ask myself, even the guy you're dating, is he really sober? Is he really sane? Because I wouldn't want anybody to put me and portray me out there as this sexual prize, I would call it that, and be disrespected. And because, to be very honest, right now I don't know that guy. I've not met him. But if I was to have some level of respect for him, if before I knew him, if it was up there, or the way you give people benefit of doubt, then he's just brought it down. Because I'm thinking, like, when you're being posted out there by this woman who claims to be in love with you, you know it is in public, so you can access her socials. And now, this is where the tricky part, that now even tells you something is wrong. It is the lady doing it. The man's socials do not have any clue, or even cannot even smell, like, reveal that they're even in a relationship. So why is all this happening? You know, now, why am I bringing this conversation? I believe most of you have seen it. It is, if you're a sober person, it's very disturbing. It's really, really disturbing. And you wouldn't want to see young people do this, because it's the young generation that are doing all these funny, crazy things. And that's why it backfires on them. It backfires big time. And I believe one of the reasons she's doing this is she wants to try and prove a point that I parted ways with my husband, and I have, I'm pretty hot and tempting, and now I'm in the market and I found somebody who is equally as hot as my husband, who treats me right and everything. And you can do it. It's social media. You can do anything you want. It's your page, isn't it? But now there's this thing that that I found very interesting that she did. So when you're doing that, you choose locations that will show you're doing even well financially and everything, and you got it. You know, sometimes we women want to prove that, oh, superwoman, I got it. I can get myself a man. I can take care of my kids. I can do everything. Then on one random day, I find she's put this video where I think she had gone live, and she was saying how the husband is a deadbeat. Hey! And the guy should man up and start supporting the kids financially. And I was like, wait a minute. Even if it was me, and I was supporting my children, and then you come from nowhere, introduce a man or woman into a messy situation, and you're trying to prove a point to me, I would let you prove the point. I wouldn't even go ahead and compete, is it? So if you are financially stable and all glowing, and you're trying to prove it even in social media, why are you coming on the same social media to call me a deadbeat, and you expect me to finance your life? And please don't quote me and wrongly and think I'm saying don't support your children. Support them financially. But you see, when people are starting to portray these things, you're bringing your wars somewhere where, because probably the father is supporting the children, probably he's doing what he can do, but you want us to have, you have decided to make us believe a certain thing that you want us to see and believe. Now, hold that thought there, because that is what many people are doing nowadays on social media, because social media is a place you can come and rant. Social media is a place where you can come and do things, and after all, it's your space, and it's acceptable to do that because it's your space. You're not invading any other people's spaces, and it's not like you're harming us. We're just getting angry and disturbed by what you're doing. So because I'm from a mental health perspective, and this platform is about mental health and creating awareness and coming up with solutions. So I do not want to leave you thinking about this problem. So let's kind of think, and let me help you understand where some of these people come from, and why people do this in the first place. The first thing that people do this is because people need to feel connected. And connected to their partners and to people they love, and they want the world to know that. Which is normally and in general when it is done well, it is a good thing. It is when it is now stretched and you're trying to portray this certain negative image or this very disturbing things of bringing private things to the public, then that becomes disturbing. So then there now you stop even trying to show the world or your partner or that person that you care for that you're taken. Yes. Because sometimes I don't even need to put in my social status that I'm married. There's a way I can conduct myself and do things that people will know. But if I also put relationship status there and say married, then already it puts some protection, level of protection for myself and also some level of protection for my husband. And so not unless there are these annoying people who want to just come and mess up and try to be funny, then already the boundaries are very clear, you see. But also, people do it because they want to show you and to show the world on social media that they're in love and they're very happy. Unfortunately, if you're going to the extremes of the kind of context I've given, then the opposite is true. You're not happy. You are not happy. Because happiness is not a one-moment thing. It is something that happens over time. And if you're happy in your marriage, why, or in your relationship, why do you have to bring it and rub it on our face? We will see it without you even telling us. Because when you're trying to talk, even talk on a different level or talk about something else, we will see the peace that radiates from you. We will see the joy. We will see it. Some things you don't even need to force them. They can be seen. The public will still see them in equal measure without even mentioning them. You see? So, clearly, you're not happy in that relationship. The other thing, you need to understand, posting intimate, personal, and private things on social media isn't normal. It's not normal. It's very abnormal. Remember the things I've talked about. Personal, intimate, and private things on social media is not normal. Is not normal. Right now, you guys know you probably know I have children. Did I have to come and put out the process that I had to go through to have children? It's not. It's, science demands and science shows you there's a process behind the whole thing of getting children. Don't rub it on our face because we know it, you know. And if we were to do it, all of us, and rub it on each other's face, what world would we have? You see. So it's not normal. The other thing you need to understand is because people do this because they are highly insecure. Highly insecure. And when people are insecure, to even those levels and to those extremes, you want social media to become your police. You get? So you want to police people who you yourself have failed to be able to police in the relationship. For example, you come and put me out there in a certain funny way, us being very intimate and everything, because you're trying to tell those other people who you do not even know that, hey, this guy is taken, this guy is mine. Should you find this guy with another woman, this guy is mine. You know. And then you put this guy in such a place, in such a situation, like clearly you can't mess up because I have put you publicly in social media that you are mine. Me and you will do these funny things behind the curtains. You get? So you can see the level of insecurity. You are not even able to guard this relationship. Now you are bringing it here for us to guard it for you. No, we won't. Unfortunately, we will be the reason it crumbles, because one time you may find this very horrible and negative comments. Or sometimes people will just be watching you, and when you are down the rocks, it's when somebody puts a comment and says, I thought you're doing well. Why are you disturbing our peace here? You get? And then that even get you in even to a very bad place, you see. So insecurity is one of the reasons why people do that. The other thing, people do that. People who are desperate for attention. You want attention from everywhere. Attention seeking. So you, like, giving the example of this lady, you parted ways with your husband. So are you you're desperate for attention from the same person who you claim is a deadbeat father. Because why you're doing it in social media? Because you know what will get to him. So if you are so interested in him, why can't you go find him and sort your differences? And then if you have nothing to care for him, then move on and have your relationship and date maturely. Because the relationships are for mature people. They're not for children. Because it is children who will do all the funny things, and later it comes crashing down on them. They are regretting because they don't know how they got themselves there. But when you're a mature person, you need to make calculated decisions and informed decisions, right? This other one is a big one. You want to make your ex jealous, supposing he's not even jealous. But hold that thought. That is not even the big one. This is now the biggest characteristic and character trait of such people. Unfortunately, these people behave like that because they're psychopathic and they are narcissists. This is a very strong character of people with narcissistic character traits and personality disorders. Yeah, you're a psychopath. Why would you be doing this? You know, you want to control everyone, from the guy, yourself, the woman, and come also on social media and try to control the narrative of what you want us to think. You get? That is a very wrong mentality and tendency. Unfortunately, it ends up backfiring on you, and it will definitely backfire big time. There's this thing, and science has proven this. There were studies that were done why people behave like this and try to display these things on social media. And this is because people have something that is called the relationship contingent self-esteem. You have a relationship contingent self-esteem problem. What does that mean? It means your happiness is derived from the relationship. You see, so if the relationship is working, you're happy. If the relationship is not working, you're not happy. But clearly the relationship is not working. That's why you're coming here to try and do what? And put yourself out there. You will end up damaging yourself the more. Because clearly if whatever this lady is doing is mutual, how comes the guy is not posting the same content or even different content that is similar and posting you out there? And even, let me tell you something. I am one person who is very keen with details. If you see all the videos and the photos that I've seen this lady put out there, you can see who's playing the leading role. You know, in a relationship, naturally, men should take the lead. Women were just followers. And it doesn't mean how loud you are, how those are personality traits, but there's a presence of a man. You know, I may be doing everything, but you can see who is in charge in this relationship. You see, so whatever I've seen, the lady is trying to show a certain narrative. So why are you so insecure to want to keep this guy to the point of you want to put it on our necks? Now, guys, I believe I have demystified some of the things that make people do some of these things. So, I want you to understand that once you have done all these things, it does not raise your value, like generally, other than but on the contrary, it lowers it, because people will No, because no self-respecting person will do that. So people's opinion and respect for you will go down. Because, and even trust, people will not trust you, because I am not sure when me and you things do not work out, what you can do, you'll come to rant on social media. So definitely, people will even start avoiding you, and you will realize you have been left in a world of your own. And it is because of your own behavior. In my language, in my tribe, the Kamba tribe, they say this, and my dad uses this statement many times. And I want to say it in Kikamba as they say it, and then I'll translate it. They say, "Ebuta butelia, yebu didisye na mulo kilewayo." There's this big bird that they call Ebuta butelia in Kikamba. So it's a very big bird, but unfortunately, big as it is, it can't fly. So the saying behind that says, this bird caused itself to be despised because of its inability to fly. It can only move from one place, like it's almost jumping other than flying. And what does this translate in this context? That sometimes you can cause yourself to be despised, or you can cause other people's opinion of you to be so low, not because of their own fault, but because of what you have done to yourself. You see, so guys, when you see people do funny things on socials, now you know some, and this can translate to anything, because now I just used love, so sometimes it could be other things. You know, any person who is busy with their own lives, you'll not be on social media every minute and every moment. If you're a business person, yes, your presence. Remember, it's business. Presence. But there's where it is annoyingly trying to rub us in a certain way. You want us to believe something. You get. So, remember, I'm your girl Jennifer, and I always say, to change the world, you need to change your mind. Catch you in the next video. Bye.